what does that mean to unleash your full potential? And do you sometimes self-sabotage that potential, or does someone else sabotage that for you? A lot of times people tell me change is not hard. It may appear to be hard, but really change is just different. Barbara, she was 67 years old when she did the program. So you're never too old to learn something new and to bring in the right program to unleash your full potential. But she released 30 pounds and she kept it off. Lynette, she released 20 pounds and 17 inches and she got off of one of her diabetic medications. Teresa, she released 30 pounds, 25 inches, and she got off one of her chemo medications in just 2 weeks. Sue was on high blood pressure meds for 12 years, y'all. 12 years. And she got off of those blood pressure meds in 2 weeks. You'll never accomplish that goal until you get really specific and intentional about how to achieve that goal with specific action steps.
You're listening to the Visibly Fit podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Wendie Pett. And every week, I'll give you holistic, practical solutions for everyday issues related to nutrition, healing, functional fitness, and behavior modifications. As a naturopath, fitness expert, and wellness coach for over 20 years, my goal is to empower you to reach for greater health and to rise up to your next level of living in mind, body, and spirit. You were created with greatness in mind. It's time to own it. Are you with me? Then let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to the Visibly Fit podcast. I'm your host, Wendie Pett. It is a delight to be here with you today. If you are watching on YouTube, I am not in my studio. Actually, you could probably even tell by how I sound. I'm just using my Apple headset today. But thank you for joining me and thank you for your grace. I'm on location and I could only record here where I am. But I wanted to jump in today and we're going to be talking about a few different things. One, we're going to be talking about unleashing your full potential. And what does that mean to unleash your full potential? And do you sometimes self-sabotage that potential, or does someone else sabotage that for you? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do, we're going to just kind of have some discussion kind of questions and dialogue. And I'm going to share where I come from. And I want you to kind of ponder some of these questions yourself. But before we get started, though, and diving all into that about your full potential, I want to talk about Samson for just a minute. My husband and I, we were having our devotions this morning, and we're in Judges, and so we were reading about Samson. And he said to me, all right, what stands out to you most as we read Judges 13? And then I asked him what stood out to him. And for me, it was something that he's like, oh, never really thought about that before. And it kind of was this aha moment. And I thought I just kind of wanted to bring it to you today because I believe it really kind of says a lot about unleashing your full potential. Okay. So here's what I mean. I'm just going to read this verse and then we'll dive into it. So it says, it's going to be a little lengthy in reading here, but bear with me. And I do have my small, my Bible with the small letters. So I'm going to have to stretch my arm a little bit. But it says, again, the Israelites did what was evil in the Lord's sight. So the Lord handed them over to the Philistines, who kept them in subjection for 40 years. In those days, a man named Manoah, hopefully I said that right, from the tribe of Dan, lived in the town of Zorah. His wife was unable to become pregnant, and they had no children. The angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife and said, even though you have been unable to have children, you will soon become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must not drink wine or any other alcoholic drink or eat any forbidden food. You will become pregnant and give birth to a son, and his hair must never be cut, for he will be dedicated to God as a Nazirite from birth. He will rescue Israel from the Philistines. The woman ran and told her husband, a man of God appeared to me. He was like one of God's angels, terrifying to look at. I didn't ask where he was from, and he didn't tell me his name, but this is what he told me. He said, you will become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must not drink wine or any other alcoholic drink or eat any forbidden food. For your son will be dedicated to God as a Nazirite from the moment of his birth until the day of his death. Then Manoah prayed to the Lord, and he said, Lord, please let the man of God come back to us again and give us more instructions about the son who is to be born. God answered his prayer, and the angel of God appeared once again to his wife as she was sitting in the field. But her husband, Manoah, was not with her. So she quickly ran and told her husband, the man who appeared to me the other day, he's here again. Manoah ran back with his wife and asked, are you the man who talked to my wife the other day? And he said, yes, he replied, I am. So Manoah asked him, when your words come true, not if or, questioning, it's when your words come true, what kind of rules should govern the boy's life and work? I think that was pretty cool. That's something that popped out to my husband as we had discussion. I'll mention that in just a minute. Anyway, it says, the angel of the Lord replied, be sure that your wife follows the instructions I gave her. She must not eat grapes or raisins, drink wine or any other alcoholic drink, or eat any forbidden food. Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, please stay here until we can prepare a young goat for you to eat. I will stay, the angel of the Lord replied, but I will not eat anything. However, you may prepare a burnt offering as a sacrifice to the Lord. Manoah didn't realize it was the angel of the Lord. All right, this keeps going on. But, all right, here we go. So what stood out for my husband was where it said, when Manoah had asked, when your words come true, again, not if, not are you sure that you're even angel of the Lord? But no, when your words come true, didn't even question, because it was obvious this was an angel of the Lord, but didn't even question it. But did have this question, what kind of rules should govern the boy's life and work? So Todd was like, yeah, that really kind of pops out to me. The fact that Manoah would be so specific in asking, how shall we raise this boy? Give us clear instructions so we don't fail, basically, so we can unleash his full potential, all right? So that we can care for him in such a way that you would be glorified. And so that stood out for him. What stood out for me was where it says, the angel of the Lord replied, be sure, he tells Manoah, to be sure that your wife follows the instructions that I gave her, not to eat grapes or raisins, drink wine or any other alcoholic drink, or eat any forbidden food. And so what stood out for me was, okay, it's not just don't drink wine. It's also don't eat the grapes or raisins. So this is what wine comes from, right? Grapes. And so I was thinking, okay, so whatever, bear with me for just a minute. This is just the revelation that I had, that it's not just the thing in which you shouldn't do, like that'll self-sabotage you for whatever your goal might be. So don't drink the wine, but also don't be tempted or eat the very thing that makes that wine. And I thought, wow, that's just profound to me. Like, it's not just the wine, it's the grapes, it's the raisins, it's what makes the wine. Because if you do, you won't be able to birth, right? Like Samson was birthed from this woman. You won't be able to birth the one or the thank you for bearing with me as I'm fleshing this out. You won't be able to birth the call on your life to its fullest potential if you do make this decision to go against the grain, so to speak, and against the instructions. So anyway, that just kind of popped out to me. So take that however you want, read into it. But those of you that know the story of Samson, oh my goodness, like Samson was definitely not a perfect person, but God used him anyway. And there's a lot to that story that we're not going to go into, but it's amazing how, we can self-sabotage and, mess with our destiny, so to speak, just because we dabble or we're tempted. And so we've got to be really steadfast and on path and on plan. And a lot of times that means we need accountability, and we need to listen to those that are godly and have godly counsel around us. Anyhow, he did not listen to his parents. He did what he wanted to do. But anyway, I'll let y'all read that story. But those are the things that popped out to me. And so as we want to just kind of dive deeper into this episode about unleashing your full potential, I want us to kind of talk about really just about the journey of personal transformation in regards to wellness. Okay, I want us to explore the holistic benefits of physical health, mental clarity, just your emotional well-being. And of course, we're going to talk about my Visibly Fit 7-week accelerator program and how it can be really a catalyst for change. Now, a lot of times people tell me, oh, change is so hard. You know, change is not hard. It may appear to be hard, but really change is just different. And so I want you to start changing your thinking around what change really is and how change could change the trajectory of your life. And not just your life, but it can create a ripple effect for those around you. So as you're listening to this, if you're listening to this live time, it is Cyber Monday. Yes, that's right. And I am still offering the Black Friday all through the weekend through the end of this day special where you get $500 off of my entire program. And I'll go more into that at the end. But before I do that, I just want to talk about motivation, because sometimes we get tripped up on motivation. Like you don't really feel motivated to change. And so I just want to ask you, what inspires you? And, where do you see yourself, and how do you want to begin your wellness journey? Like what has motivated you in the past, and how has it evolved over time? For me personally, I know that changes all the time for me. Like sometimes my motivation is a fitness challenge that I'm doing for myself, whether it's, however many push-ups I do right outside of waking up in the morning to, maybe it's walking more steps than normal or doing more burpees or whatever that challenge might be, or getting in an extra set of my Visibly Fit 7x11 exercises. Those kind of challenges motivate me. Okay. But not everyone is motivated by challenges. I also get motivated thinking about my future, right? Like how I choose to live today affects the quality and quantity, I believe, of my years in the future. Now, God knows the number of our days. I know that. But we have a big role to play into how those days and years are going to play out. And so when I think about my son, and he's married now, actually, and his wife, and hopefully their future children, my grandkids, I get really excited and I get motivated because I want to have a lot of energy, and I want to be able to keep up with them and go, travel with them and play with them and just all those things. So that really is motivation for me. But what motivates you? And if you don't really have something that motivates you, I want you to journal. I want you to dig in and find out what is it for you? Because we all have different areas of motivation. It could be that our pain is our motivation. It could be that you're in so much pain that you're motivated to take drastic measures so that you're no longer in that pain. So really dig in and figure out what that why is, what that motivation is. Okay. Now, what about challenges that you faced? Let's talk a bit about that. Like, what obstacles have you encountered in the past while trying to improve your health? And have you overcome them? Or maybe you haven't. I don't know. But I'm just curious about that, because we all have obstacles. We all have challenges. I mean, every day is an opportunity to just strengthen our resolve of making best health choices, right? Like there's temptations each and every day, but those temptations get further and further away from you, the more you stay away from them. You're not as tempted. They don't seem to, like, I used to love ice cream. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. Like, as a kid, I mean, we ate a lot of ice cream. Even the dog got ice cream. Okay. Y'all know I don't do dairy, so it's not a big deal. But there was a time when I, years ago, when I first started my whole food plant-based approach. So what was that? I don't know. Has that been 15 years, 14 years? I can't even keep track anymore. I want to say it's more like 15 years ago. I craved ice cream. I really did. So what did I do? I found a healthy replacement. So I made nice cream. And, I take frozen bananas and some almond milk or coconut milk and some cacao powder and just kind of blend that up in the blender. And it really kind of took the edge off, and it helped me get over wanting or desiring ice cream. So what is it for you? Like, what's that obstacle that you've encountered? Because again, we all have them. It might be, we just finished up with Thanksgiving with that holiday, right? It might be being around family and friends that's an obstacle for you, that you are, you're caught up in the moment and you're just kind of a social eater. You're not really thinking, you're just eating. And so that could be an obstacle. You've got to almost like, pinch yourself, so to speak, to make sure that you're being present and that you choose wisely instead of getting caught up in the social enjoyment of it all and then realize later, oh my goodness, I ate so many unhealthy foods and calories that I just, I'm not pleased with myself. And gosh, I got off plan because this, that, and the other. And so we really want to eliminate those obstacles. And so that's what Visibly Fit does too. We also offer you solutions. We come around you as a support and accountability because, again, we all have those temptations. We all have those areas in which we're a little bit weak until we're not weak any longer. Like with the ice cream situation, there's always a way to get around it. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And maybe you don't have someone that supports you. That's a big piece of the situation, of the scenario for success. And for you to unleash your fullest, best potential, you got to have a support system. So who supports you along your health and wellness journey? Is it your spouse? Is it your best friend? Is it your children? Maybe it's a coworker. Like, who supports you? Because, sometimes people don't really have a lot of great support. So it's important to have community or an accountability partner to help you achieve your goals. And that's what we do at Visibly Fit too. We have serious accountability. We pray for one another. We encourage one another. And we have a private Facebook group where we interact with one another as well. But that's so important. And on our coaching calls, oh my goodness, that is a powerful time where we can get raw and real and really talk about why we do what we do. And why do we continue to have this temptation or this obstacle? And then we give you solutions. So that's really important if you're wanting to really step into not just 2025, but let's step into it now, your fullest, best potential. Let's unleash your full best potential. Tony Robbins always uses that phrase, unleash your full potential. Well, I love it. I think it's been, kind of overused in marketing and that kind of thing, but I love it because when you think about unleashing, right? Like, I just think of when you are fully surrendered to your kind of old habits and ways of doing things, and you just unleash that drive from within, and you get the obstacles out of the way, and you're like, I am all in, let's do this. You would not believe what you're capable of. I've got a few testimonials that I'm going to share with you in a little bit because it's so much fun to hear stories, right? And to hear about transformation. Maybe you have your own personal success story or transformation. And so if you do, like, what key changes did you implement that made a significant impact? Because those key implementations are something that can help somebody else have a really good radical shift in their health. Maybe they just need to know that 1, 2, 3 kind of items that, that you set your mind to that made a complete mental mindset shift for you and helped you succeed and helped you get to your fullest, best potential. Now, maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you're listening to this and saying, oh man, I have tried year after year and I haven't gotten there yet, Wendie. I get so frustrated and I kind of get this, this condemnation and shame and guilt going on. Well, that tends to happen. But listen, there's no room for that here. God does not want you to feel that way. He wants you to be in your best, healthiest self. And that's in mind, body, and spirit. So if you're in a place where you're like, gosh, you know what? I know I should do this and I should be better at that, but I just can't quite get it. I attempt, but then I fall off the wagon in just a couple of weeks. Well, I want you to know that you're not alone, but I want you to also know that it is doable. You can see massive shifts in your habits, but you just have to have the right plan and the right people around you and the right mindset. And so that's one of the things that we do here at Visibly Fit. And that's why I have such great, successful stories with people and transformations, because when they follow the plan, oh my goodness, it's like game over. Like all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and, they feel better. They're releasing weight. They have clear mind. They're just rocking it and they feel so great. They don't want to go back. And so that's what I want for you too. It's about having that mindset shift, the mindset shift that, you are your most important appointment, right? And, these shifts that you can make in these mental shifts cannot just be impactful for you, but oh my goodness, it can create a ripple effect for your family, for your coworkers, for your best friends. I mean, you can be an influencer, right? You can be an influencer to your family and your friends. So have you ever seen any changes because of your habit changes, or maybe even an attitude change towards health in others once you stepped up and changed? Or maybe you took on like a fitness challenge and then others around you were like, hey, cool, I'll do that. Game on, let's do it. And so their attitude changed and their habits started to change because you made the choice to change as well. So what does that look like for you? Does it look like going back to the Samson story? Does it look like not just, and again, I'm going back to the Samson story, not just getting rid of the wine so that you can be equipped for your fullest, best potential, but getting rid of the grapes and the raisins, the thing that makes the thing that you, that doesn't serve you best out of your life. What does that look like? So in other words, don't just stop eating cake, so to speak. Stop eating the sugar. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. I'm hoping it kind of does. I'm hoping to see the correlation, that you hear the correlation as I share that. But we all have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to set goals. We have an opportunity to have long-term health and wellness if we, set these goals and stick to them. So do you have a plan in place? Do you have goals? Sometimes they're so loosey-goosey. They're so generic and they're so general and not specific that you'll never accomplish that goal until you get really specific and intentional about how to achieve that goal with specific action steps. So have you done that? And if not, why not? And also, maybe you just need someone to, like myself and my team, to come around you and just support you and give you some guidelines so that you can once and for all achieve those specifics so that you can get to those goals you've always wanted to accomplish. Yeah? I mean, you really do deserve it. You deserve to unleash your full potential. And I'm excited for you, because when you unleash your full potential, then those around you, it's that ripple effect. Then they start to unleash their full potential, and it just creates this incredible chain of activation for greater health and greater well-being. So I'm kind of, excited about your potential and how you can become more equipped and how you can start to prioritize yourself. And the way you can do that is making sure that you have the best plan in place, having proper resources, making sure you have a good coach like myself. And as you know, I'm a naturopath, so I want to make sure that you're educated, that you have the proper support, so that you can accomplish your best health and have daily practices that will contribute to your overall health and well-being. So how do you do that? How do you stay consistent with them? You got to have accountability. You just do. You got to have goals. You got to have aspirations. You got to stick to the plan. You got to be disciplined, and you got to have that deep-rooted why. You got to understand, what is my motivation, and not just a little motivation that's just surfacey. It's got to be a deep-rooted motivation. It's got to be something that you can look long-term and look ahead and catch the vision for your next level of health and wellness. Okay. So what does that look like for you? And are you ready to take the steps to get there? That's the big question. Are you ready to take the steps to get there? If you are, I want to encourage you to take action and jump on with my Cyber Monday special. It's $14.97. That includes, I'm going to tell you everything that includes, okay? And I know that it's on my social media, and if you're on my email list, you're going to see it there. But basically, I'm going to tell you everything as soon as I can get to it. Isn't that funny? I had it all right here, but then, here it is. Okay, so basically, you get before and after blood work. That's something I threw in, okay? That's over $600 of value right there. You get 7 weeks of my live coaching calls. That is every week. It's a full hour, and they are powerful, y'all. I mean, I'm telling you, very powerful. We have incredible discussions. We do prayer, devotions, and then we attack what's going on in your life and talk about the wins, but we also talk about the things that are kind of keeping you stuck, and we give you proper and practical tools so you can overcome those obstacles. But we have accountability. So it's an online program, and you actually have access to the modules that you will get, which is the education piece. You have access to that for a full year. So you could actually do this 7 weeks program several times because you have access for a full year, which is super cool. You actually have access to our accountability group for 12 weeks. So after the 7 weeks, I don't want to just leave you hanging. I want to kind of keep nurturing you and making sure that you are on plan and that your habits get sticky, right? Your healthy, visibly fit habits remain sticky. And part of that is that accountability and having that group and that tribe. So we are here for you. And so I want to let you know that you have that. You have weekly meal plans, grocery list, recipes. Everything is done for you. You have a full catalog of over 65 plus visibly fit workouts that doesn't require any equipment. Your body is your gym. So I know you'll appreciate that. I kind of help to eliminate all excuses there. So you can work out anywhere. You don't need special clothes. You just need your body, and that's it. You probably won't even get on too much of a sweat. So you could even do some of these workouts at work. Yeah, that's right. I'm eliminating all excuses. So I said I was going to share a couple stories with you. And one recently is my friend Jackie. And Jackie is super cool. She's so sweet. But she was taking statins because, she had high cholesterol. And so she decided that she was going to stop taking her statins and see if the Visibly Fit plan would allow her cholesterol to level out and be in a healthy range without taking meds, because we know that when you take meds, there are repercussions to those meds. There are side effects. And so no one wants to take meds long term. We want to get to the root of the problem and give you the solution. And so anyway, long story short, she had, a healthy range of cholesterol by taking her statins, of course, but she stopped taking them before starting the program. And then within 7 weeks, actually before the 7 weeks came, but we know this because of blood work before and after, her cholesterol was in an even healthier range than on her statins. Okay, by just correcting her foods that she was eating, exercise, mindset, stress, her sleep, all of it. We did lifestyle change, and she is just so excited, you guys. So her doctor is thrilled, a little shocked, but thrilled. And she said, "Oh my goodness, this is like my lifestyle for the rest of my life." And so it's exciting to see this. She's down 23 pounds and almost 20 inches. And she's got clear mindset. She sleeps well. She's got incredible energy, and she is on point to get to her goals. So again, that was just in 7 weeks, you guys. Imagine what happens in 14 weeks, in 21 weeks, in 28 weeks. Like, it is powerful. I'm telling you. Joyce, she released 35 pounds and over 30 inches in just 7 weeks. Barbara, she was 67 years old when she did the program. So you're never too old to learn something new and to bring in the right program to unleash your full potential. But she released 30 pounds and she kept it off. Lynette, she released 20 pounds and 17 inches, and she got off of one of her diabetic medications. That's huge. Teresa, oh my goodness, she released 30 pounds, 25 inches, and she got off one of her chemo medications in just 2 weeks. That's right. She did a new blood panel, new blood work after just 2 weeks with her doctor, and her levels were all in a healthy range, and her doctor took her off of one of her chemo meds. So talk about like the power of eating the proper nutrition, fueling your body with the right phytochemicals and phytonutrients, moving your body as it should be moved. And it's just powerful. Jean released 45 pounds and went from a size 18 to a size 8. I mean, I've got story after story. Sue, oh my goodness, this just came to me. But Sue was on high blood pressure meds for 12 years, y'all. 12 years. And she got off of those blood pressure meds in 2 weeks. So I'm telling you, whatever you are dealing with, we can get to the solution. We can get to the root of the issue. And I just want to encourage you, because you are your most valuable appointment, and you are worth the investment. And so I know you're getting hit with a lot of Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday deals, but these are deals that are just things, like a bunch of, useless items that you're probably only going to use a few times, and then it's going to get thrown in a drawer or in the back of a closet. But the Visibly Fit program will last you a lifetime, and it will affect not only you, but the people around you. So I highly encourage you to dive deep into saying, yeah, this is the time, because this is a $500 discount. Again, it offers the before and after blood work. So it's actually more of a discount than just the $500, because I'm throwing that in, and you get everything that I mentioned to you. And so if you have questions, email me, but I'm going to put the link in the show notes so you can take advantage of this right away. Do not delay. Yes, this is kind of a salesy, if you will, podcast, but I can't stress this enough. The time is now. The time is now for you to take ownership of your health and to do it at a discount to save money, right? All right. Thank you for tuning into this episode. I hope that you are starting to think about, yeah, you know what? I really do want to unleash my full potential. And how do I do that? Right here by doing the Visibly Fit 7-week accelerator program. You can actually go to getvisiblyfit.com and use the code, all capital letters, all in one word, FLASH25, to receive that discount, or I will put the link in the show notes as well. But I encourage you to not delay, because I only have a few spots that will allow for the special to go through. So hurry quickly, because this will end midnight here on Monday evening. So thank you for tuning in. If you have questions, email me right away. I'd be happy to talk with you more, but I know that we can get your health right where you want it to be, to your fullest potential, right? All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I guess make it a great day. But go hit that button. Go hit that link in the show notes, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, blessings, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Well, that's a wrap for today's show. So thank you so much for tuning in. I love spending this time with you. To learn more and get more free resources, just head on over to wendiepett.com. And thank you in advance for sharing this episode and this podcast, following and subscribing, not only to this podcast, but finding me on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are, I'm probably there too. Until next week and our next podcast time together, make it a visibly fit day.